Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Vieran, and today I want to talk about builds in general and what they've become in Neverwinter. So back in the day, we used to research some builds, whether it be for DPS, tank, healer, whatever. We used to research it, but the difference between then and now was we researched it and then we had our own spin. We built it how we want to build it. We used the builds as more of a guide rather than what it is now. Everyone seems to be copy and pasting builds. You have to understand that these builds, whether it's Aragon's builds, Northside's builds, Silvery, whichever YouTuber you watch, it suits their playstyle and it's what works for them. I can't get my words out. But anyway, so let's say Aragon uploads a rogue build and it's different to mine. That's because his rogue build and my rogue build work for us. So my rogue build would work for me. For example, someone recommended the primal boots and he said primal boots are best for a rogue. That's fine if you want to use the primal boots. For me personally, the Wasteland Wanderers are what's best for me. As you can see, if we have a look here, we got 5% combat advantage. So if them primal boots work for you, by all means use them. I'm just giving you a guide and what, kind of like a ballpark of where your build should be. And considering I got no band of air, I basically shared a build with no band of air, which a lot of people don't do. They don't really share a build without the band of air. They think that everyone's got the band of air, therefore this is the build you're going to want, and all of them have the band of air on. I personally don't have the band of air, and that's why I recorded the video, as I know a lot of you guys don't have the band of air. The whole point of build videos back in the day was just to let you know that you can use this gear, you can use this gear. It's completely up to you. For example, when Omu was the top thing, we had the Fearbringers. Or you could go with the Jaw Ripper's gloves. We had people with the Rex Corona, and we had people with the Gigantopithecus helmet. There was just so much variety, and then you got the third Kiono with the bear. And I can't remember what the boots were. The Heels of Fury when Barovia dropped. And then the sets, you had the Demogorgon set, the very old one, and then you had the Lost Mouth set, and it was just a guide. It was just telling you what would work for you. Now it just seems like we can't do that anymore. It seems like there's a lot of copy and paste, and if a build doesn't work for someone, then they'll happily say that that build is trash. As I said, the builds that you see on YouTube are just guides. Them builds work for that specific YouTuber, which is why he shared it, or she shared it, because they've got their most DPS out of that build, whatever the playstyle may be. For example, I know that a lot of people say that I'm losing a lot of DPS because I'm not popping stealth before I get into the fight, so I'm losing that combat advantage damage. I said, yeah, okay, but this is what works for me. This is my playstyle. I run up, I pop Path of the Blade, I pop my Smoke Bomb, Stealth, Blade Flurry. And I only usually need to do that Blade Flurry once, then the Stealth meter refills, then I pop it twice for the next group of mobs. It's all based on playstyle. Please don't copy and paste someone's build and hope that you can use it perfectly. If you copy and paste someone's build, you've got to practice the way that they do their rotation. Because as a YouTuber, from my standpoint this is how I get the most DPS that I can get out of my build that suits my playstyle. And that's all you've got to think about. Back in the day, I keep saying back in the day, I don't think it was really that long ago, but when we were in Cradle, as a great weapon fighter personally, there was many different builds you can have. You can have your Battle Fury build, you can have your Daring Shout build, you can kit it out completely different to how other people have it, and it was fun just seeing all the numbers put out by so many different builds. and then you had your control wizards who literally built their own Master of Flame. There was so much creativity, and then you got the Templocks. They built their own Templocks. It was very rare that you saw copy and pasting when it comes to YouTube builds. For example, Northside had a really, really, really good great weapon fighter, but even though people watched him, they didn't necessarily copy. They just got it. They used it as a guide. They used, so he's using this, maybe this would work. And switching the build up to suit their playstyle, they managed to do more DPS. Not more DPS than him, more DPS that they could do on his build. I don't know if that makes sense, but I feel like today, in the Neverwinter community, there's too much copy and paste. People don't know how to play classes. They've researched the gear they need, and because there is no variety in the game whatsoever, they're just putting the game on, putting the gear on, just listening to the rotation, and they're going in with someone else's build. Back in the day, we used to create our own builds. You know, you had your buff Guardian Fighter, that was literally built for buffs. You got your Power Share AC, buff debuff DO. There was so much variety. God, I miss them days. But yeah, if we could get all that back, I'd be so happy. If we could get the Control Wizard Master of Flame, the power sharing, I know it might make everything easier, but take scaling out of the game, and again, that might make it easier as well. Or just give us an option. Do we want scaling on or off? That's simple. Just give us an option. But let me know what you think on this topic. Is there too much copy and paste in the community right now? Are people taking the easy way rather than testing stuff out? I know it's a bit hard to test on console because we don't have access to atlogs, but I'm interested to know your thoughts on this, as I'm gonna call myself an OG because I've been playing for so long. But as an OG, I feel comparing now to back then, there's a lot more copy and paste now than there ever was back then. And let me know if you guys miss all the other different class features, like your Master of Flame, your Power Share Pally, your Power Share AC, your buff debuff DO. Oh, if you missed them times, you have missed out. But leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.